365 Radio. We're going to keep it here. Logan Hall, who was drafted the first pick in the second round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We had Logan on about a month and a half ago. He played high school football in Central Texas at Belton and then went on to have a very nice career at the University of Houston and the number one pick of the second round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Logan Hall now joins us on Sikkim 365 Radio. Logan, now the Tampa Bay had a pick at the end of the first round and probably would have taken you, but they had a chance to gain some more collateral. What was that like when they were coming up and you thought you might get drafted by them, but you had to wait until the next day?
Man, I was real anxious. But at the same time, I knew God was going to put me just where I belong. So I tried not to think about it too much, and I knew I'd be gone pretty soon in day two. So,
how much did you talk to the Bucs in the pre-draft process?
They were definitely one of the teams that I knew for sure they liked me pretty good. There was maybe 4 or 5 other teams that had expressed interest similar to Tampa Bay, but I knew when I was coming out at the top of the second and I saw that Tampa Bay had the first pick, I knew I was one of the top ones on their board. So I was definitely anticipating that, and it worked out amazingly. And I went first and the second. So.
Logan, you're teammates with Tom Brady. How cool is that?
Man, it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what I mean, just what even goes through your mind when you think about where you started playing at Belton High, playing at Houston. I mean, I know the NFL had to have been a dream for you, but has it even sunk in that, hey, I'm on the Buccaneers, I'm teammates with Tom Brady? I mean, I'm in the NFL. Has that sunk in over the last couple of days?
It's getting there for sure. It's just unreal, man. I'm so gracious to all the people that's helped me along the way, and the Bucs for sure for giving me the opportunity. And yeah, I'm definitely ready to meet Tom and learn things from him.
Logan, you grew up in high school, no question, from where you were at Belton early to where you were when you left and then what you did with Houston. Can you try to describe the difference between you physically and also, even more importantly, mentally, from where you were like a high school kid's listening right now, a sophomore or junior? Where are you now compared to where you were?
Leaps and bounds away for sure. Coming out of high school, I was a knucklehead mentally. Didn't have a lot of things figured out. And for sure, physically, I was a young boy. Now I'm a man undergoing, the nutrition plans and the strength training at Houston. It's done a world of good for me, as well as meeting all the mentors along the way. So I'm a totally different person. I guess you could just say I grew up and matured.
You were picked by a lot of the mock drafts to be a first-round pick. You were thought of to be a first-round pick. You mentioned you kind of got a little bit anxiety, but did it disappoint? What's the difference business-wise? I know Drew Pittman's one of your agents. What's the difference for you business-wise?
I'm not too sure. I know that I would have made a couple million more for sure if I would have went 27 versus 33. But at the same time, I get to my second contract quicker going into second. I'm happy with it. It is a really good contract, and I am happy with it. A couple $1 million would have been pretty cool, but I'm all good, man.
What was the reaction of your family and friends like?
They were fired up. It was awesome. Really vocal. Just people were crying, people were yelling. Just real happy for me and everybody that was there with the people that were there from the start. My day ones, all family that I love and care about. Really close friends, and obviously Drew. Got a lot of love for those guys, and it was just awesome seeing them. Celebrate with me because, it wasn't just my day, it was their day. We all made it.
Logan, you're going to be playing next to Vita Vea. He's an amazing defensive tackle. The Bucs drafted Joe Tryon-Shoyinka last year. Their defensive line is very much a focus. Plus, Devin White, Levante David behind you. You've got to be pumped up about this defense overall.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Playing next to Vita Vea, hopefully guys will focus on him a little bit more so I'll have some opportunity to get back in the backfield and disrupt some things. But yeah, those guys behind me and everybody across the line, the Bucs have a real good defense, and I think I fit really well, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
What have your talks or conversations been with Todd Bowles?
Really cool. He kind of told me his vision for me, and just what he kind of expects me coming in. Real cool. He's a good guy.
Logan, what did the University of Houston mean to you when all is said and done?
Oh, it means everything. Houston's done an amazing job nurturing me into the man I am today. Not just the city, not just the school, the city. Got a lot of love for Houston. They did a really good job. So,
your birthday was just last week, wasn't it?
It was.
So what a birthday present. I just saw that. I looked it up. It just popped up April 22nd. What a birthday present. What, could you have asked for anything more?
Absolutely not, man. Getting drafted, going this early, being able to celebrate it with my family, and to go somewhere as awesome as Tampa Bay. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
What do the Buccaneers expect from you? Have they said that, or is it still kind of, I know you got to, eventually there's get-togethers, you'll be down there, they have the rookies, all that stuff, and eventually the veterans. Did they say much about just what they expect?
Well, they've definitely made it known that they think that I add value as a pass rusher on their defensive line, and I agree, and I will try and fulfill that role. I feel like I'm dynamic and disruptive at three positions, so coming in and doing a good job for them, I think they have high hopes in that regard.
So you're in the NFL, man. You are in the National Football League, which I know that you, based on what you said, when did that truly become something you thought was realistic?
I'm not entirely sure. I would say probably the transition from my junior to senior year. Knew I was pretty good, had a pretty good junior season. But the guy, above me, his name's Peyton Turner. He played defensive end at Houston. He went first round, 28th overall. And I don't think he's better than me. He's a good football player. No knock on him. But, I've competed with that guy, trained with that guy, ate with that guy, my entire career at Houston. And seeing him go was really an affirmation, for me. And that's kind of when it became a reality. I was like, okay, I can do this. Time to lock in.
So what will be, I don't know, your first big purchase or your first big celebration? How are you going to celebrate this one? I know you had the get-together and all of that, but you going to go buy a car to celebrate? Like, is there anything like that in the works?
I definitely have some plans, man. I don't have it all hammered out yet.
Gotcha.
Got to take care of, getting my dad a car, looking after my siblings, and I definitely, I want a truck. My big self is driving a sedan, and that's in that way.
You're a big, tall drink of water.
Get some little room here. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, and I know you'll be smart about that. How much of a steal did the Patriots get with Marcus Jones?
Oh man, they got a great football player, great teammate, great leader. They got him for a good deal, man.
Okay, if you had to tackle him, what would your strategy be?
I'm not tackling that guy. He's too fast.
Yeah, you'd need one of those nets or something like that.
Your pursuit angle would have to start 70 yards ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, Logan, one more thing. As you know, Houston's going to be joining the Big 12, and it could be as early as 2 years from now. No, a year from now, based on some of the I guess, reporting that they might join in a year. When that
2020.
Yeah, well, 2024 is the original, but now it looks like it's going to be next July 1st, 2023, with some exit stuff that they're working with the conference, the American Football Conference. As a player who was there, when all that went down in September, what did that mean to the University of Houston football program?
Oh, it meant everything, man. Houston's a great program, great school, and to be able to go to the Big 12. I'm speaking for sports exclusively. It's going to be able to keep a lot of talent in the city to stay in the city. And that's going to be amazing for our football team, track team, all across the board. And I know we're all real fired up and real proud and excited for that.
I think the Big 12's excited too. Everything kind of worked itself out after the Texas-Oklahoma story popped, and then just a couple of 3 weeks later, it looks like everything has settled down a little bit. We appreciate your time, Logan. Good luck. Are you in Houston? Are you in Belton? Where are you right now?
I am in Houston right now.
Okay. enjoy whatever you have left, and eventually good luck as you head to Tampa Bay to help be a part of the Buccaneers.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for your time.
Logan Hall from Belton. I remember when he was a player at Belton, and he had to get more physical. He had to get stronger. And you could see kind of a little bit of that. You hear about what he had, the talent because of his size. And then he turned into a hell of a player.
I remember doing Midway versus Belton games, and he was younger, obviously. He would have been probably a sophomore or something. But I remember seeing him, his size, and he wasn't – I don't think at least he was being heavily recruited at that point. But I remember seeing him and going like, geez, I mean, why isn't he if he's not, you know, and thinking like, wow, it's a big dude who's got some athleticism, and, you know, didn't cover them the next couple years because the districts changed up. But, you know, I remember hearing from people who kept covering them, kept hearing his name, and he's obviously making, you know, progress and developing. And sure enough, I mean, by his senior year, you know, there was Houston and I'm sure many others that were trying to get him, but really just blew up at Houston. I mean, really blossomed there. They did a great job in his development. And, you know, there you go, first pick of the second round. So that was a guy who was not getting recruited by all the big boys, and yet here he was going 33rd overall. So I think that's a big tip of the cap to him and to Houston and the job that they did.
Would have been great to be a first-round pick, but as he said, his second contract, will be a year earlier. He doesn't have that fifth year. But Logan Hall, hell of a player, really grew up the last 3 to 4 years.
And it's still good money. I mean, that second round money still, you know, you still pay rent with that, and you go buy a truck or whatever. So yeah, the next one will hopefully be the massive one for him here in 3-4 years. But to be the top pick in the second round, I don't think you're complaining too much about that, even if it is a couple million less. But still good to go.